What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp here with a name you know, a fellow Kentuckian.
Yeah.
We got Ricochet here. I would often have people say, oh, you're from Kentucky, you must know Ricochet. I'm like, I don't think you all know how big Kentucky is.
Yeah.
Like, you were down in Paducah, yeah?
Yeah, like we're in West Kentucky. Yeah, like 2 hours from Nashville.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing. Kentucky, I'm from Lexington. It's centrally located. You can get to a lot of places there in a short amount of time. What is the biggest misconception as a Kentuckian you've experienced?
Like, biggest misconception from people or?
In general, like from wrestling, from people who are like, you're from Kentucky, you must.
I mean, all the cliche ones, really. I mean, all the cliche ones. There's so much, like, there's so many, to be honest with you. But it's funny because I never, when people find out I'm from Kentucky, they're like, oh, wow, really? I didn't even know. So that's, I don't know if that comes from being so traveled, because I've been traveling since I was in my teens. So I've been around, like, especially America, but also traveling overseas and abroad. But I mean, I don't know, misconception from Kentucky. I mean, other than all the cliche, I mean, we were actually poor though. So we kind of lived in the redneck area though. So, oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. But I mean, there's not like a robust indie scene in Kentucky either.
Definitely
a lot of the regulations and the
I didn't wrestle in Kentucky my whole career until I got to the WWE. Like, so I wrestled for almost 16 years.
That's wild.
Before I got here, and I don't think I wrestled in Kentucky. Maybe once, maybe.
Yeah, outside of like OVW and whatever like Larry D does, there's not. There's
the commission,
really
you got to get like commission and a license and a blood test and all this stuff. You got to do all the stuff just to be able to wrestle.
Before I even bumped, they were like, you got to go get a license.
Absolutely.
And then when licensed, before you train, they're like, okay, great, now you have the same rights in the state as Randy Orton, who trained here 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Like, it was like getting your driver's license before you've driven a car. It was so wild.
So that part was funny when people were like, oh, Kentucky. And I was like, yeah, I've actually never wrestled in Kentucky until I got here. Yeah.
Man. That's wild. And fortunately, like, I was at SmackDown about a month ago. It's blowing up there again. It makes me very happy. But, I mean, you've blown up. I was a big Lucha Underground guy.
Yeah, I
love Lucha Underground.
Love Lucha.
I just thought it was a fantastically produced show. Some of the stuff was, like, off the wall.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what'll be pitched. Was there anything just absolutely wild pitched to you that never ended up happening?
To me, no, not specifically. I mean, I think anything that kind of got pitched, I think we did, really. All the while, like all the stuff, I mean, stuff that we didn't do probably just wasn't a good idea or something, but not like we pitched something and it just didn't happen. I think anything that we wanted to happen, we tried to make happen because we were just trying to make it as different and just as wild and crazy as possible, you know, Lucha Underground vibes. I'm trying to think. I mean, they did some crazy, like the Vampiro Pentagon match, even like, I think his name was Kill Switch versus AR Fox. I forgot AR Fox's name. Like they did some crazy stuff. I mean, they did some crazy stuff. And even like me and John Hennigan coming up, Johnny Mundo at the time coming off the thing. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything.
I love the environment because there would be like The Office, Dario's Office.
Yeah, right there.
And I'd be like, who's coming off of that? And then you would wait for the time when it happens. Next thing you know, Angelico's just flying through the air.
A couple times he jumped off that. I think
incredible
maybe the first episode or maybe the second episode. I think Phoenix or someone did a moonsault off the top.
Oh, yeah.
One of the first episodes, someone used Cueto's office.
I thought it was the best wrestling show in the world, especially that first couple seasons. Man.
I really enjoyed I enjoyed everything that they were doing because, again, like you said, the style, the production of it was so different. But then when we got in the ring, they let us kind of just cook. And everybody there was so good and so new. And, again, chip on their shoulder trying to prove what they can do. So I think it was just a beautiful mixture of creation at the time.
Speaking of letting it go in the ring, when did you realize that you were capable of things that almost every other human being was not capable of? Like, I'm always interested to find out when, like, you did something and you go, that's not normal that I can do that.
No, I always just thought about what can I do, but obviously I'm watching guys like Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Evan Bourne, Jack Evans, Amazing Red, Hayabusa, like all these guys that were doing. So like I've seen some crazy stuff. Watching Jack Evans, I'm like, wow, that is crazy.
That's what turned me onto the Indies. I saw the double moonsault
off the
thing.
cage, it's wild. So I'm trying to live up to that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So it's not really I'm thinking, oh, people can't do this. I'm like, what can I do to like stand out like that, like that? Like that's kind of how I was, especially at the time, thinking about like what more can I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think your strength is underrated too, because so many people
Yeah, I
focus
try
on the
to,
things
yeah.
that you do in the air, but like then you'll have these feats of strength when people are like,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, he can do that too.
I can't really do as much in this company, but I do definitely try to incorporate my strength because I do feel like pound for pound, I feel like I'm up there and one of the strongest guys in the company. Again, pound for pound, you guys like Bronson Reed and those guys. Obviously, I'm not stronger than those guys, but I do feel like in specific situations, my strength is more than what people think it is. Absolutely.
As we wrap up, you're known for going viral. Your fiance's been going viral a lot for her great ring announcing. What's that like to see somebody that you love, that you care about, and she's getting all this love for her great work that is so unique in a profession that largely stays unchanged in that sense for her decades?
I mean, it feels great to be able to see her. She's also a creator. She's an artist. She's a character. She's so funny. But she loves sounds. She loves music, and like sounds specifically, whether that is music or singing or whatever it is. She loves to make the sounds different. So when she, especially with wrestling, there's so much. So there's so many characters. And so she just tries to listen to the song the character comes out to and listen to or see what, kind of aura, energy the character brings, and then she then kind of represents what that character is. So it's cool to see her kind of take some chances, and then like they paid off really good because she loves it. She absolutely loves it. She just wants everyone to do better. She wants the company to grow. To see the reception that she's getting from people, I think they can feel the passion. They can feel how much she actually loves it. She's not just trying to come out there and make a scene and get herself over and do. She's not doing any of that. She's just trying to make the whole thing better. And I think people are really seeing that because it really comes like if she was a fan watching, she just wants to, that's how she perceives it. So to have the people, accept her so well and give her so much kind words and stuff, it's awesome.
Incredible work from both of you. Thank you so much for the time, Ricochet.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Until next time, guys, we're out.
I've often talked about how much of a pay-per-view buyer I am. Take that any way you want it. But I'll tell you how I take it. NordVPN.com/Fightful. Fastest VPN on the planet, global server network, all that good stuff. That's great. But a big reason why I got NordVPN.com/Fightful is all the pay-per-views I buy, all the money we're spending. We're trying to control costs as a company, as a household. You can get those UFC pay-per-views at a fraction of the price you're paying here in America. Plus, you can get all kinds of great content that you wouldn't normally see thanks to those services as well. Shows that are on overseas services, things that you want to watch a little bit early so you get on that UK time and watch them. Being able to change the interfaces of things like the WWE Network. Maybe you don't like Peacock, anything like that. NordVPN.com/Fightful gives you that ability while having the fastest VPN on the planet. Also, you just get so much more out of your internet experience with NordVPN.com/Fightful. Subscribe to Fight and AEW Plus. Watch AEW without commercials. Watch bare knuckle boxing. Watch UFC pay-per-views, boxing pay-per-views at the rates they're getting over in the UK. Change your virtual location with just one click. And hey, if you need any help using it, they got that 24/7 tech support. NordVPN.com/Fightful.